Hello there, Maverick Currency traders. This is Rob Reinhold again. It is March 19th. Let's jump into it. In this session, we're going to go through the news of the day. We're going to have big news, 2 central banks. We have another one overnight. We'll take a look at the markets, and then we're going to be looking and hunting for our best trading opportunity.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
All right, jumping into the numbers and the news. We had 2 central banks. We had the Bank of Japan come out last night, and no change. There was not any expectations that they were going to make a cut or a raise, but they did say 2 things. They said, number 1, economic uncertainty with the tariffs has increased, and we're going to hear the same thing that the Fed said. And number 2, they see wage growth creeping into the lower income level jobs, which is something they've been wanting to see before they hiked rates. So the yen initially had a little spike on it and then sold off. And then by the end of the day, it had become the best currency performer of the day. We also got the FOMC statement. No change as well. That was widely expected. What was a little bit of a surprise was the market was wondering, are they going to stick to their 2 rate cuts in 2025? Especially because we've seen inflation and inflation expectations rise quite a bit over the last 2 months. They came out and said, we still see 2 rate cuts in 2025. So that really soothed the market over. We had a nice rally in equities after the report, maybe about 0.5%, nothing huge. And we did see the 10-year bond yields come down a little bit. They also, along with the Bank of Japan, said economic uncertainty has risen and we're going to have to be very aware. And if we see that jobs and job growth declines, then we're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. But they said, we think the economy is good enough right now that we can just play it slowly and see how things develop. What did that do to all of the currencies? Well, you can see not much. And I did this market recap yesterday. And in that recap, I said, look, this is not a good trading environment. I talked about the waves that are good. And then we have the wave there where it's all calm. And I said, okay, we're in a calm wave, and tomorrow I expect a new nice wave to come in to where we can make some good trades. Well, guess what? Did not happen. Look at the performance. Everything is virtually flat. The only real movement we got today was euro was a little bit weak, and yen was strong. So we now have 2-3 days of this really sideways movement. Again, we just have to understand where we are. We have a very famous saying at Maverick, trade the market in front of you, not the market you want it to be, not the market you think it should be. The market in front of us, it's not great for movement right here, right now. As I said yesterday with the waves, we'll get another wave that changes things up, but right here, I think you want to be looking at trading less in the Forex market. So let's talk about other markets. The S&P gained 1.08%. Guess what? Yesterday it lost 1.07%. So basically between these 2 days, nothing happened. The VT, same thing. Yesterday it lost 0.79%. Take a look, up 0.82. Crypto lost like 2.8% yesterday, gained 3.2. That's literally the same thing. Oil was down 0.7% yesterday, up. The only asset that has been up for both days was gold. It was up yesterday, up again today. Gold looks phenomenal. I mean, reaching all-time highs, and it looks like it's just going to keep going in the near term. Coming over here to the crypto, really, all these simply just gained back what they lost yesterday. We're going to take a look at crypto because, again, I'm not super excited about Forex right now. I do like the yen quite a bit, and that's where I'm going to be focusing when we look at trades. The question is crypto becoming tradable? I would love to have somewhere else to go trade while Forex is really just sitting on the sidelines. I'll check that out here. Let's jump into the SPX just so we can really see what has happened here recently. I've been very clear over the last couple of weeks that we are going to get a pierce. We're going to break through all of this support in the S&P, which we did. And I said I can't get overly bearish down here because I need one thing to happen. I need it to break support. I need it to rally back and fail. Okay, so yesterday we had a pretty clear reversal candle here. And if you listened to me yesterday, I said, look, we have major news coming up. I need to see what Wednesday's candle is. Wednesday's candle is a big old nothing burger. And what I mean by that is if we close at our high, and can put one more candle through, this resistance area, this 5,700 that is really good resistance, would have failed, and you would have had to back off your bearishness. You would have had to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I can't be super, super bearish. I need to be just moderately bearish here. That didn't happen. By the end of the day, we were simply back to where we were on Monday, on Monday's close. Same thing. The way that these rallies work, sometimes you get what's called a V rally. And the V rallies are great. Vs are great because they're very simple. They go down, they rally, they fail immediately, and they're great. Sometimes you get a W where it comes down, and sometimes you get like a couple Ws before it fails. I don't even know that it's going to fail here. It might not fail. We might actually creep up into this range. What I'm saying is right now, it's neither. Right now, it's neither falling and broken to where we can expect there to be a new lower low, but we came up to that 5,700 and hit our head on it. So I think short term here, I'm very neutral. Longer term, this is still a bear rally. This is still a bearish market. We have moving averages that are falling. We are below the 50-day moving average. This market is still bearish overall. But short term, today's candle says, hey, just be a little cautious on when you become a little bit too bearish. Let's look at the calendar for the next 24 hours. We've got employment report out of Australia. I'm not looking at the Aussie at all, and I'm not really looking at the Kiwi either. However, this Kiwi GDP report could be interesting because the Kiwi has been showing some relative strength. The Kiwi's been one of the weakest currencies over the past 2 to 3 weeks as the market's really fallen. The Kiwis actually started to perk up a little bit and actually look a little bit more bullish. If this report comes out better than expected, I think the Kiwi could jump into a tradable currency on the long side. So I am watching this. I'm not really too interested in Aussie at the moment. We have employment out of the UK tomorrow morning, and then we hear from the SNB. We only hear from the SNB 4 times a year. They are expected to cut rates by 0.25%. And then we have the Bank of England that is looking to not make any cuts, but you can see the votes are changing to where at least 2 of the members want there to be a cut. That's what we're looking at over the next 24 hours. So what is in play, at least news-wise? I think Kiwi, Pound, and Swiss franc are all going to be, again, heightened volatility because there's major news around them. We'll look at those charts. I don't think we're going to see much movement. We're just not seeing much movement anywhere in Forex except for the yen. So that's where I'm going to be focusing my efforts. Let's start at that yen. So the yen, this is the daily chart on the yen. And you can see the yen has been in an uptrend for a while. It has runs, it has pullbacks. But this pullback has been a little bit more substantial. We really would have loved to see it hold this, but it didn't. We can still get a rally here. We'll have to see what happens when it reaches back up to that level. But I do think there is some runway here for a long yen trade. We had a nice doji hammer candle. We had a nice confirmation candle here today. And if we come in here to the 4-hour chart, we can see that we're getting everything we want for a reversal here. So again, it ran up to this high and it pulled back. The question is this pullback over? Well, we're seeing some things we like to see. We're seeing the RSI is now moving above 50, which is a great signal. We've seen that it's already pierced above the parabolic SAR, and we're seeing a turn in the 13 EMA. The only question I have on this one is it going to be similar to this back here, where we bounced and failed? This absolutely could be a bounce and fail. It absolutely could be. But I think there is enough room here that if it is a decent bounce and run, I think there is some meat on the bone here. So I am going to be looking at the yen. And if it is a reversal on the daily chart, we could easily get back up to high. So again, I'd like yen here on this bounce. It does have to break through that last low level, but if it can, looks good. So I'm really looking at this one short term. Let's take a look at dollar. I love dollar on the short side. Now look, it's not going quickly. It's not going quickly. But here's what I love. Every rally is a failed rally. So take a look at these last 3 days. We had 3 long upper shadows here telling us that every time this dollar has rallied, it has failed. It has absolutely failed. We just rallied here, and look at that quick failure. I like dollar short here quite a bit. Let's go over to Swiss franc. Swiss franc is doing virtually nothing here. I don't like it on the daily chart. I don't like it on the 4-hour chart. It's got major news coming up. No thanks. The pound also has major news coming up. I'm a little bit more interested in this pound because I see a high base forming. We're going into a news report. If this news report gives us a nice breakout, this could become a tradable currency. Right now, it's not tradable. Look at all those wicks. Look at that sideways price action. We got RSI flattening. We got EMA flattening. It's basically telling us everything is flattening. After BOE announces, maybe we can get a breakout. At that point, I'll become interested in the pound. But until that happens, not so much. Let's take a look at the euro. The euro is strong. Look at that. Look at that on the daily chart. Big run, hardly a pullback. However, when we go into the 4-hour chart, you can't buy this. You can't buy this. This looks terrible on a 4-hour chart. So for me, euro is not a short. It's not a long yet. When it does turn around, I'll look at it long, but not until then. Let's jump into CAD. CAD is similar to the dollar here, where every single rally, this is a daily chart. Look at that. Every single rally has failed. Every single one over the last 6 or 7 days has failed. It's telling me the next move is highly likely to be lower. We just got a little bit of this rally. It's failed. Look, there's going to be a ton of little support in here. Once it breaks through that, I like this down to that last level. So CAD to me is also shortable along with dollar. Aussie, again, I'm just not interested. RSI flat at 50, EMA flat, not interested. Again, this Kiwi is interesting to me. Look at this daily chart on Kiwi. It has stopped going lower and actually is starting to show bullishness. RSI above 50, above parabolic SAR, EMA turning up, and the 4-hour chart looks great here. So I am optimistic that the Kiwi might be a viable currency here, but it's not there yet. Let's get through this GDP report. Let's see if it can break through some of this resistance. Again, it's got major resistance up in here. So you just can't move on it until it breaks out of that resistance. So give me a breakout, give me a pullback or a base, and a move higher. I will become a fan of the Kiwi. I'm just going to take a look at Bitcoin on crypto, and you'll see the daily chart. The nice thing about crypto, I shouldn't say the nice thing, but the positive thing is this was looking like a bear rally, and it looked like it was going to fail at this level. You can see it's trying to poke its head above it. It doesn't make me want to buy it, but it definitely says, hey, you know what? This could be a bottom on crypto. It could be. I'm willing to be open to it, but I'm not going to buy this. I don't buy things that look like this. I wait for them to make a run, make a pullback, then I look to buy them. I need to see that before anything. So for me, I am on the sidelines on crypto. So here we have our velocity scoreboard. Euro, I don't want to be short euro because it's in an uptrend on the daily chart, but the CAD and the dollar look shortable. And look at that. The yen is the only thing working at the moment. So it's very simple what the trade's going to be. CAD yen short and dollar yen short. Let's see which one is best. Remember, whenever we have two currencies, we don't know which is weaker. Just pair them up against each other. This is the dollar CAD, and you can see that basically they've been about the same. They've been about the same. Over the last week, we've seen the dollar has been weaker than the CAD. Go here to a 1 hour chart. We can see the dollar has been stronger than the CAD over the last 2 days. There's really nothing conclusive here of what is better, but I do like to go with momentum. So if I'm looking at this, the dollar CAD has been rising in the last 2 days, tells me that the CAD is weaker than the dollar, which tells me CAD yen is going to be the first pair I look at. This is a daily chart, and this is a beautiful, beautiful chart. We have a break below support. We rallied up right to the line, right to the support. Becomes resistance, gives us a doji, and then we get a confirmation. Look, this is a textbook bear rally. Does that mean it's going to be a guaranteed win? No. We all know how this works in Forex. Nothing is a guaranteed win. But we know that when we see this pattern 100 times, it's a good trade 55 to 75% of the time. Again, that's what it is. And 35% of the time, it's not going to work. That's how trading is. It's just a numbers game. Everything here is telling me it's ready to go. We've got RSI below 50. We've got the EMA is now pointing down. We've broken below the parabolic SAR. Look, this thing is ready to go. 103.80 is where it is right now. I think a stop up here, probably above this last candle, 104.60, 104.65, somewhere around there. I really like that for a stop here. So 104.65 right before that big break. So we're looking at, an 80 pip stop. Can we get 160 pips on the downside? Let's go ahead and take a look at our target. Drawing out some trend lines. If this is a bear rally, we should see the next move come all the way down to probably around, call it 150. That's 230 pips. So we got plenty of room here on this one. I like this call, CAD yen short. I also like dollar yen short. It looks very, very similar to CAD yen. You can see dollar CAD are very highly correlated at the moment. So, dollar or CAD, make a call. So this isn't a great trading market. Okay, it just isn't. The yen looks the most tradable here on the long side, and nothing looks like it's really falling. But I think that's the play, is you go long yen and you find the weakest thing at the moment against that yen. It's probably going to be a 50, 75 pip max gain on this trade. If you don't care for that kind of trading, just wait for a bigger wave to come in. All right, thanks for joining me. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.